I'm very excited to share with you that we've got a webinar coming up on the 5th of December at 9 p.m. South African time. So it's a PV safety webinar. It is for first risk and solutions for first responders. So we've got international experts, Alex Keane and Jim Foran. Alex is from the UK and Jim is from Australia. That's going to present it to us. They are from PV Stop. I did share some videos before on PV Stop, and DC voltage is very different than AC voltage. And it's not to scare anybody, but we have to take in consideration that with a PV system, there's only the risk of fire is minimal. It's 0.01%, but the growth we've seen in the industry, things will happen. There's some installations that's not on standards, but either if it's on the PV system and there's prevention, we're going to do a safety conference in 2024 in March month. So either if the fire is directly from the PV, which is if you do it properly, PV is safe. PV is safe, but there's some things that we need to address, and we need to see, because the PV is on your roof, we know that if there's any other fire in your house or at your business, it is very important to make it safe for the first responders to come, and also for the staff or your people at their home to make it safe. And how to do that, how to de-energize your system. People don't seem to get the idea that the source of DC is the sun, and you can switch off ESCOM. You can switch off at your PV combiner box, even if there's some systems as well, electronics, rapid shutdown switches, string type, modular types, we've got them. But still, PV modules still produces energy. There's still a risk involved. Even if that's shut down, it is safer, definitely, I agree, but still it cannot be switched completely off. You have to switch off the sun. The only way to do that, PV Stop has a solution for that. It's a compound that they put over there's some videos that they spray over the panels that de-energizes the system in a very short time. It's effective. It's safe. But so we're going to look at that. I've been at a few things, and, because it's now, I concentrate on the PV safety side and speak with professionals all over the world. It's just something that we need to address. We even need to take it down to the schools for the kids to understand DC voltage, so that they know, because it's everywhere. I spoke to one of the installers in Mossel Bay, George area. So I asked him while he's installing, what's the percentage of the households there already that has PV systems on? And he said 80%. I'm sure. Say it's 30% or 20%. Just see how many households already has it on. And how do we address this? How do we keep it safe for the industry to have a good name? We don't want to see anybody get injured. I went to a mall the other day. I'm not going to say which one it was. And I got there and I parked my car, and there's these car parks with the panels on. And there was one panel that was completely smashed by a truck. Shattered. I'll put the photo on here. And I spoke to the car guy. I thought it happened suddenly, and for me it's a very big safety risk, especially when it's raining. It can arc through to the structure, and somebody can get electrocuted. Even more, fire, DC arc. Some of those cells must have been damaged. So I did the right thing. I didn't want to post, I'm an influencer, TikToker. I want to to post it, but I did the right thing. I emailed them, I showed them the pictures, and I told them that the dangers of this. So she immediately said they didn't realize it's that, switch it off. The sun is still shining. They are still active. Those systems gets lots of volts through it. Very unsafe. So hopefully I haven't followed it up. I believe they managed it. So yeah, and with the hailstorms, I see a lot of panels there. How do you address this? How do you do this? How do you keep your system safe? Now you've got damage. We saw some damaged panels. Remember, PV panels is hail resistant to a certain point, but with those type of hailstorms, you will get, there might be some panels that's going to get damaged. If it gets damaged, what to do? How do you do that? So yeah, PV stop is a solution, but there's other solutions as well, and we want to address this so that the PV system stays safe. So I invite you to come and join the webinar. If you go to www.ltvtech.co.za to the homepage, it's also in my bio. Just click on it. It's right at the top at the homepage where you register. So it's really, we want to create this a place for first responders to work efficiently. If somebody calls me to go to their system and go for a fault, I promise you, it takes me 5-10, if it's that quick, to just see what system is it, how does it work, how did they install it, where's the cabling, where, we cannot expect the fighters, the first responders to go in an emergency situation, go to the place and just try to figure out, how do I switch this off? And so we're also going to do education for them. And we're very looking forward to this. Although there's a product involved, PV Stop, it's not a product push. We've been speaking to associations and institutions, and we know we don't want to do the product push, but we feel very serious about it. And when you're in the webinar, you will also meet Alex and Jim. Jim is the CEO, the director, and Alex is international in Europe, and he's also doing Africa. So so there's lots of things coming in. The product is not in South Africa yet. We want to try and see if we can bring it in at the PV Safety Conference. But if there's urgency and if there's need, we can bring it in. We've been through NCRS. We've got national regulation standards. They gave us, we thought we had to get a LOA, a letter of authority to resell. It's not necessary. It's a water-based in a pressure vessel, like a fire extinguisher that you simply spray on. But there needs to be training. We don't want to get somebody going onto the roof, putting their own life in risk. Safety first always. But at least if the product is available and the first responders don't have the product with them, at least we wanted to, so that you can hand it to them. We will go to them, give them training how to use it. It's very simple and easy, but only trained people. If it's a first story, it can spray around about 10 to 15 meters. So that's fine. You can do it from there. But if it's in a 3-story house, nobody needs to go up the roof, put their lives in danger to save a property. But saving lives, safety is our priority. And so come to the webinar, and let's learn about it, and let's work together to keep this industry that's growing so fast and furious, that we keep this industry safe, and that there's no incidents happening that we don't want to hear it on the news. All right. Thank you.